Hey, it's Harry, and in this video we're going to go through the EVO mixer that comes free with the EVO 8 audio interface. The EVO mixer is the perfect tool to control your audio inputs and outputs, enabling you to effortlessly set up and control your routing, levels, and more. On a Mac, with the EVO app open, click on the EVO icon in the menu bar and then select Show Mixer. Or on Windows, right-click on the EVO icon in the system tray and select Show Mixer. Provided EVO 8 is connected to your computer, the mixer window should then open. Simply put, the EVO mixer is the control center for EVO 8, allowing you to customize functionality and settings to make EVO 8 work best for your workflow. One of the main things that the EVO mixer controls is the ability to have ultra-low latency monitoring, enabling you to listen to your live inputs without any audible delay or latency, and therefore ensure you're getting the most out of your recording sessions. The mixer is made up of a number of channels, all of which can be renamed for easy organization by double-clicking on the name at the top. The left channels are your mic channels. These are your mic or line inputs on the back of the unit or your instrument input on the front. So if you have something plugged into one of these, you're able to see the input levels represented here in the mixer. Next to these, you have your computer channels. This shows you what audio is playing back from your computer or audio software. So if you have audio playing from your digital audio workstation like Logic, Cubase or Ableton, you will see the output of it here. As you can see, there are two stereo computer channels, and I'll show you an example of why you'd want to use the second one later in this video. On the right of the mixer is the master section. Here you can control the volume of both sets of outputs, as well as see a visual representation of your audio going out to your speakers or headphones. You can also quickly hide both the mic and computer channels to keep your screen tidy by pressing the hide buttons as shown here. Now back to the mixer. As you can see, each channel has a fader. Turning a fader up will send that channel to the physical outputs. By default, the computer 1 and 2 outputs are turned up, which means you'll be able to hear everything that's being played out of your computer. When you turn up one of the input channels, you're making use of the ultra-low latency monitoring, meaning you can listen to your live inputs directly from the interface without your audio passing through your audio software, which can introduce an audible and distracting delay. You can also use the pan control to balance the signal between the left and right sides in your speakers or headphones, so you can easily craft the perfect headphone mix. If you're using a stereo source, you can press the stereo button to link the channels together, allowing you to adjust the left and right sides of your signal at the same time for a more consistent listening experience. To help get your session set up, you can quickly mute or solo individual channels, meaning you can listen to them in isolation. Great for checking how individual mics are sounding. And for added flexibility, you can adjust the input gains on each of your microphones as well as turn on the phantom power from the EVO mixer. You can do this by going to the View menu and then clicking Show Mic Pre-Controls. A control will then appear below each of the mic channels, allowing you to adjust your input gain levels and toggle phantom power on and off. So as an example of how you might use the EVO mixer, let's set up a low latency headphone mix for when you're recording. Let's say you're recording yourself, perhaps with a couple of mics on a guitar, as well as a vocal mic. You have a backing track and metronome which is playing in your audio software, so therefore you want to make sure the computer 1 and 2 channel is turned up. As well as the backing track, you also want to hear your guitar and vocals. For the guitar, let's say there is a stereo mic configuration coming in on inputs 1 and 2. So you can stereo link the channels together and then turn up the fader to hear the latency-free direct signal. The vocal mic is coming in on input 3, so turn up that fader as well, balance it out with the backing track so it sounds good to you, and you're ready to record. You just need to make sure that you aren't monitoring through the software as well, otherwise you'll end up hearing a weird echo effect. With this setup, the audio will come out of both sets of outputs on EVO 8, whether using the speakers or multiple sets of headphones. So this is the simplest way of using the EVO mixer. However, let's go through a slightly more advanced setup. The EVO mixer gives you the ability to create a separate artist mix, which allows you to create an individual headphone mix and send it directly to the second set of outputs. So for example, you could have your fully processed and mixed audio coming from outputs 1 and 2 for you to listen to on headphones or speakers, while also sending low latency input audio as well as a metronome for an artist that you're recording on the second set of outputs. This way, everyone is hearing exactly what they need to be hearing and you can get the most out of your sessions. To enable Artist Mix, go to Setup and then click Enable Artist Mix button. Now you'll see that the master section changes slightly, and when you click on outputs 3 and 4, it will actually switch over to give you a separate mixer for those outputs. So you can have your output 1 and 2 just playing back from your computer, and have output 3 and 4 playing back your low latency direct inputs for an artist. In this example, I suggested the artist might want a metronome in their headphones while recording. By making use of the second computer channel, we can send the metronome to the artist on outputs 3 and 4, without it interfering with what we're listening to on outputs 1 and 2. Most audio software has the ability to change the output of a channel. By default, audio software will usually send audio to stereo output or output 1 and 2. This corresponds with the computer 1 and 2 channel in the EVO mixer. However, if you select a channel in your audio software and send it to output 3 and 4, you will be able to see that coming in on computer 3 and 4 in the EVO mixer. So by sending any extra elements the artist wants to hear, like a metronome, to outputs 3 and 4 in your audio software, you can keep it separate from whatever you'll be hearing. So now I have a metronome sent to output 3 and 4 in my audio software. I can go to the Artist Mix tab and turn up computer 3 and 4. Then I can also turn up the input channels so that the artist can hear themselves without any latency. And that's it. We now have a completely separate headphone mix for the artist. So to quickly review exactly what we've just done, if we go to outputs 1 and 2, this person will only be listening to the full processed audio from the audio software. And then if we go to output 3 and 4, we can see that this person, the artist, will be hearing their live input along with a customized version of the audio from the audio software so they can get the most out of their recording. As you can see, this can get a little complicated, but once you have the hang of it, it becomes second nature. One of the benefits of the EVO mixer is that you can choose just how complex you want to get with it, and forget about it completely if you don't need it. To make it easier for you going forward, you can quickly save and load mixer presets. So if you move around and change your settings regularly, it takes just a few seconds to get everything set up. To save, go to File and then Save. Give your preset a name and click Save. To load a preset, go to File, then Open, and select the one you want from the list of options. We know that workflow is important, which is why we designed the EVO mixer to give you a wide range of options when recording, no matter what you're working on. So whether you go all out with features such as Artist Mix, or simply have the mixer in the background, the EVO mixer is a powerful and flexible tool to enable you to get the most out of EVO 8 and your recordings. If you found this video useful, please give it a like, and if you have any questions about the EVO mixer, then please leave a comment or get in touch with our support team and they'd be happy to help. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with EVO related news and video content.